What is up, maniacs? Welcome back to Sound and Pound. It is July, Alex. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. We got through the June gloom just barely, and I think we closed it out on a fantastic note. We'll talk about that. We are your hosts, Drake Riggs and Alex Pereira, here to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of mixed martial arts, as we do every single week. The wacky, the weird, you name it, we got you covered. And today we will be joined by a special guest, UFC bantamweight Adrian Yanez, who you can see is not here yet. That is all right. That happens. Scheduling. Fighters can be late. We're going to give him shit for it right now before he shows up, but he will be here. So get in all the questions you might possibly have for Adrian right now. Get them throughout the show. We will pretty much be doing just, for the most part, once he shows up, we'll be doing just a Q&A with him, answer your questions, ask him our own stuff, all that stuff. Just hang out on this 4th of July week where we have no UFC, a little bit of a break from MMA. We have MMA and boxing, I guess, Alex, but I don't plan to talk too much about that, but it is what it is. UFC 303 happened. We'll talk about that a little bit before Adrian gets here, and surely when he is here too, we can get his thoughts on some of that madness, because Alex, I thought 303 was a pretty fucking good card. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, bro. I'm still recovering from last week because it was just busy. I was go. It was 108 degrees all week.
Oh, God.
So like, yeah, I'm like still. I slept a lot yesterday, but like I'm still trying to like wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just it was a busy week, but yeah. UFC 303 was good. It was wasn't the best card, wasn't the worst card. But it was good. It was fine. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good, honestly. Like, I think I liked it more than you, just judging by that reaction. But maybe, do you think it might? It was the best card of June, right? It was the best card of the month, which isn't a high bar, but I thought it was. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I feel like the main event really like boosted it up. Like, if you have a good main event, then it basically means you have a pretty good event. But other than that, I mean, there was, it was.
You know what? Before Adrian gets here, Alex, let me take my victory lap really quick, though, you guys, because Mayor Bueno Silva, Macy Shea's son. What do you fucking know, you guys? I looks like I know a thing or two. We got to thank Alex, though, because without him, I wouldn't be getting my flowers right now. And as that fight was happening, and people were like, oh shit, he's right. This was a banger. And it got stopped in maybe the most violent way of the whole fight night with a nasty cut. So I'm just going to say, Alex, do you want to say anything about how you were wrong?
No, I mean, I'm still going to push back and say it didn't deserve to be on the main card. I don't give a fuck. You could have put Peyton Talbot there. You could have put Piper there. You could have put Felix Swanson there.
Both shorter fights. They were both shorter.
Those three fights would have made, I mean, Macy Chiasson and Myra Bueno Silva would have been a perfect prelims headliner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. I'm glad you put it there than lower, though. I'm fine with that. I'll concede to that.
But I will say, I did think it was going to be a pretty shit fight, and it turned out to be probably the best fight of the night. I mean, for as long as it lasted.
Yeah. No, that was some good stuff, and it's so weird, right? Like, totally fair, but it's bittersweet when you have a fight end by a cut like that, especially when Mayra was totally down to keep clowning, keep going. But like, that was fair. That was a terrible spot. That thing was nasty.
Yeah. It was nasty. So yeah. So all right, I'll give you your flowers, but I will push back. It wasn't a main card fight. I'm sorry.
Maybe we should get into this rhythm more where you say these things and I'll counter it, and then we'll get good results, right? We're gonna tempt the MMA gods with positive jinxing.
So. I know. I know. We should have been like MVP versus Ian Garry's is gonna be a fucking dog shit fight.
Yeah. But no.
But it ended up being, just
1,200 words. I'll tell you why it won't be.
Yeah.
I gotta believe it, though, is the thing. I can't fake that shit. So.
True.
This was a good
in that case, I'm gonna definitely be Verna Jandiroba versus Amanda Lemos. Should not.
That's the next one. Obviously, that's the next one. So we will work towards it. But All right, you guys. Well, on that note, we'll just do our typical maniacal moment before Adrian gets here, and I see some good suggestions in the chat. And I guess, yeah, we'll start off with those because Jimmy going outside the UFC here saying maniacal moment has to be Habib's gym being raided for extremist actions and Habib's bank accounts being seized due to a $3 million debt. So I didn't watch the full video. I just I was doing something when I saw that. Looked pretty insane though. That is what's happening. Did you see that?
No, I haven't kept up with any of the Khabib stuff. I've just been in UFC 303
Yeah,
land, you know?
right. I mean, yeah, it kind of got buried by all that, but no, there was like a SWAT team, like a legit raiding of his gym from government people. It was kind of insane.
Wow.
So not looking great for him just from that. I'm not fully, of course, caught up on the details either, but aesthetically that looks not the best. Rain says Macy Barber being pulled out of the UFC card next week due to health issues, and Tracy Cortez also pulling out due to a drug suspension from the site. Okay, that was fake news. That part, Rain. I try. That's not what happened. If they covered that though, which what you're saying here, that's fucking hilarious and good job, I guess, for getting them for pulling the rug out. But Alex broke that news, I think, right? You said the Macy was out, so that is the case, right? And then we covered that all around over at MMA Mania. We know our stuff. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, Rose versus Tracy Cortez now next week. My calendar is correct here. Yeah. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about this, Alex. Like the card's not great. We know that. We talked about that already. But
yeah.
Initial
that
thought
is a weak card, and you just froze.
Oh, did I? Am I back?
Yeah. Yeah. There you are. There you are.
Okay, a little lag.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Nashville.
Memphis.
Wi-Fi. Memphis Wi-Fi.
I guess so. It's been great all week, but there we are. Yeah, initial thoughts though on that matchup. I feel weird about it. Big step up for Tracy.
Yeah, I think this is I think this is a fight. I think it's a fight where Tracy gets her first UFC loss.
Yeah, 5 rounds I think will be tough, short notice, all that stuff. So we will see. Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the winner, and this was on my list too, so I'm glad. Shout out to Ghost for this. But the real maniacal moment is also the underrated moment. Danny stepping up few hours, 3-4 to fight Diego Lopez. I took this next statement from William, who writes for Open Out Grapple. This is not a normal occurrence. This is literally the first and most likely the last time it will happen in the UFC. Extreme times call for extreme measures, and this card was cursed from the start. Absolutely insane as that started developing. Alex, you dropped it in the Slack that things were happening. I was like, wait a minute. Is that even possible? Like, they made it work, but was shit crazy backstage? Tell me about your experience following this.
Yeah, so I was up on press ledge basically the entire night up until the main card, and a source hit me up with that, and I was like, what? So I started like asking around, but like there's only like so many people you can ask about this, and like of course like if you ask a coach or a fighter, like hell yeah they're fighting, fuck yeah,
right?
But like
be optimistic
unless you get like a commission statement or whatever. So like I was told that like he had signed, it's all ready to go. Like so I was like, well I can't like. It's not something I'm gonna announce because like it's not my place. Also, like the UFC is probably scrambling to get it all figured out. Who knows if it does happen? Who knows if it's a last minute?
Oh yeah.
Like I was just like, all right, well I guess I'm staying on this news and just watching the madness unfold. And then once it got everything came out, it was just like, dude, like it's unprecedented. It's literally insane. It's just like it's never happened before, and Danny Gay is a bad motherfucker for doing it. Of course, all credit for Diego for saying yes. Yep. All credit for Diego for being a savage all through fight week, moving up 2 weight classes throughout the week. Like, but for Danny Gay to say, yeah, get the call. I was like, yeah, I'll fight him.
I'll do it.
Diego.
I'm around.
Yeah, he's just a savage. And it's funny enough, like he's been telling me for like 5 months every time I go to in court. He's like, "Do you know if Diego has a fight? Because I really want to fight him. I really want to fight him."
Oh,
So like,
wow, really?
so he was like putting it out in the universe,
Manifested.
and it came true. So like, yeah, man, props to them, and the fact that he won the third round,
Yeah.
man, just savage. So
Yeah, that was insane stuff. And totally, I mean, so circumstantial again, right? Where like you put that in any other state, New York, for example, not happening. Like, just pick a place. They probably got super lucky that was in Vegas, and all the history and the pull that the UFC has there. But man, just absurd. And for him to not look that bad, right? Like it was a fun fight, and Diego just got the better of him just by, I think, being the better fighter. But of course, those circumstances, it is what it is. Crazy shit. So yeah, big props to him. Props to both of them. And I gotta assume, Alex, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not gonna put this on you, but I'm stunned that nobody asked, like, how much he got. Like, of course, maybe he wouldn't say, but you got to think he was getting a big boost there.
let's just say he got a nice paycheck.
Yes, you would think so, but all right. The man of the hour has arrived, you guys. Let's bring him on in. Mr. Adrian Yanez, how are
Hey.
you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Yeah. Sorry for running a little bit late, man. I looked down and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like I gotta get the fuck out of here.
It's all good, dude. It's all good. First of all, how was your international fight week, bro?
Oh, it was dope. It was real fun getting to meet the fans and all that stuff, doing a podcast, doing the meet and greets and all that stuff, and hanging out with a lot of other fighters. It's always cool. It's always relieving, like most of my high level fighters consist of like 2 or 3 people. So like just being around so much more. And then coming to terms that we all kind of fat shame each other all the time. Like that's literally every time I'm around another fighter. It's always like, oh man, you look pretty big. Where's your weight at? And just start egging and poking at each other. So that's always the cool part. I caught like the most like a half compliment I've ever gotten whenever I was in International Fight Week. Yeah, Vanessa Demopoulos was like, huh. I was like, what? And she's like, you don't look as thick as you did last year. And I was like, fuck, I'm still fat. Like, damn it. I was like, fuck. So I was like, oh man, that was like such a backhanded compliment. It's like,
Right.
you're still saying I'm fat though. So I was like, man,
the demo. My God.
That is hilarious.
Was that your? Go ahead.
Was that your first UFC X, or were you there last year?
Oh, I've been there for the past 3 years. So this year, last year, and the year before that. Yeah. So it's been cool every single time I went.
Right on, man. Yeah, good times. And right away, Adrian, I got to ask you, man, what is your average consumption rate of Dr. Pepper, by the way? Just curious.
Man, it depends. In camp, out of camp, which one are we talking about?
Let's start with out of camp.
Out of camp, man. I'll fuck around and accidentally drink the whole case. And or like for sure, hands down, like
Easy.
by accident, a whole case would be consumed. If I have a 2-liter, like that is no problem for me. Like it's just it almost replaces water for me. Like it's just like,
damn,
right,
man.
like, yeah, that's I come back and I just like after 3 days, I'm just like, oh, you know what? My kidneys are hurting. Maybe I should start drinking water. It hurts more than whenever I'm actually cutting weight. So let me go ahead and start adding some water into my regimen instead of just throwing up an IV and putting Dr. Pepper all in it straight to my veins, So let me chill out.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, before we get into letting some of the fans ask their questions and whatnot, I mean, just what do you think of 303, man? Like I was telling Alex before you got on here, thought it was a pretty damn good card, maybe the best UFC card of the month. I know maybe a little bit of a roller coaster, but crazy main event, some big things happening there. Just what do you think of the show overall?
Oh man, the show is absolutely great, man. From top to bottom, it was absolutely fun to watch. The main card was still something that I absolutely loved. Like all the shakeup and like all the extra drama that was going on, I kind of put you at the edge of your seat. Just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, wait, who like the co-main event situation with the Brian Ortega stuff and Diego Lopez. I was like, oh damn it! I was like, man, I felt like something like this was gonna happen, but then like just like with the whole weight change and all that, that was still like I was like very emotionally in a different spot just because of the whole like man, all right, like I'm ready to see my guy Rock at 45. You know, he's gonna go out there fight a top 3 guy. So I was like, yeah, man, this is a shot, this is a chance. And then the weight stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, it's kind of grimy. But then with the extra added context of, oh, he's feeling sick, he's not gonna make weight. I'm like, oh, so now I gotta backtrack. Like, all right, cool. Like, he was trying to get sick. I'm like, okay, that's a big reason. So like a whole roller coaster going up and down. Like, okay, and then next, you know, not fighting. I'm like, oh fuck. And I was like, oh man, all this trouble to make that co-main event, you know, took it on short notice and all that stuff, just for it to switch up and be canceled. The next, you know, Dan Ige steps in, or they're stepping in. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh my gosh, man. I just started like freaking out, and I'm like, bro, like, because like I got even more worried, like, you know, because I felt like for that Ortega fight, like I thought Diego was a perfect fight for him. Dan style is completely different. And I was like, and he's pretty good defensively and offensively. That motherfucker can crack. And I'm like, I like the power differential. I looked at this and I was like, oh my god, this is like this terrifies me, you know. But you know, the fight was phenomenal. It was a really, really good, solid fight. And then going into the main event, like just everything in general, just kind of just like, oh shit, what's going on? But yeah, then Pereira does what Pereira does, man. Dude, that dude has like the touch of death. It's crazy.
As someone who loves striking, you're a fantastic boxer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you view Alex Pereira's kickboxing and his striking, dude?
Man, it like I wouldn't be telling anybody else like to try to copy his style, because his hands are pretty low. You know, he does a lot of things defensively good, but that's just for him doing it for so long and being able to like again, there's not going to be something you throw at Alex that Alex hasn't seen before. So for him, it's just like every day, like, man, he fought some of the best kickboxers in the world already. So for him, it's just like, oh yeah, these guys, you know, they're not at his level. The only guy that's come close to his level is like Izzy. You know, so Izzy's out there, you know, he makes it like that first fight in the UFC was really, really competitive. That second fight, you know, it looked like he was in trouble, but man, sunk him into a trap. But like, that's the type of fight you have to fight Pereira. You have to sink him into traps. You can't go brawl for brawl with that guy, or you can't just leap in, because you try to leap in on him, bro, he's catching you on the way in. His style, man, is like, it's very basic, but in an unbasic way. Because again, I'd be telling guys, hey, you got to have your hands a little bit higher. You know, he's so calm, right hands at the chest, doesn't care if you throw at him. He's like, chama. He's just walking around. I'm just sitting back, and I'm just like, all right. And like, even his kicks, bro, like they don't look like anything. Like, he doesn't turn over. He just like, it almost looks like a soccer kick that he's throwing at a calf. Like, even the head kick didn't even look like a kick that like would I'd be telling people to throw. Like, hey, you gotta turn your hips over. You gotta, like, you know, like on that switch, you know, you gotta turn your hips. You gotta turn your hips. Not him. His switch kick was very like I wouldn't be telling people to throw it like that, but he again, I can't tell him it's fucking trash, because it's like, no, he's knocking all these guys out. Like, I wouldn't be like, if I'm coaching the everyday person, I'm like, hey, no, you switch. Well, I saw Alex Pereira. It's like, well, yeah, you're not Alex Pereira.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Alex Pereira. There's a big difference. He's high level, and he can get away with all this stuff. You know, you on the other hand can't.
yeah, there's levels, man. So I was feeling this way right after the fight. And I know this is probably recency bias, but I got to ask you guys now. But is that left hook now the single most lethal weapon in MMA history, man? I think it's got to be. It's insane how just the power he generates from, you know, not even much windup. It's just such pure technique and everything he does with it.
Yeah, I'd have to say that is one of the greatest. Like,
it's got to be top 3
weapons.
At least.
One of the greatest weapons, at least, man. Like, it can't, like, top 3, and it ain't 3 for sure. Like, because like, it's not like, because man, it comes out of nowhere. Like, that check hook, like, looked like it had no like weight or power behind it when he threw it at Jury. Like, it was just him coming in, boom, boom, check hook. And it wasn't like you've seen him like really load up on left hooks, and like I think whenever he loaded up a little bit on Strickland, that one was a solid shot. Like he sat down on it a little bit because he set that one up. That check hook was just more like, oh, he's coming in, boom, throw it, boom. Like it was just something naturally and defensively that he does, and it was just like no weight, no nothing. He's like, all right, cool, boom, all right, drops on him, just like, oh shit, it's over. But yeah, no, it's his left hook is like one of those yeah, you don't want to get touched by it. No, like I'm telling you, is oh my gosh, it's definitely what Dan Henderson used to have, the H bomb. That's his atomic bomb, bro. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. I was gonna say it's Alex's left hook, Dan's right hand, and I don't know what the other one is. Like
Krokop's head kick.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
those are the top three.
Probably, yeah. It makes a lot of sense, and it's crazy. Like the first round when he dropped Yuri at the end of the round, like it didn't even seem like he fully, like, really.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it's like, dude.
Yeah, I just know what I'm practicing all week is check hooks all day, every day. That's all on my list. Like, you know what? He has a point. Check hook. Two things I've been living by these past couple of months is left hooks and Gilly Goose Gang.
There we go.
That's where I've been at. I've been jumping Gillies left and right, bro. Like ever since that Dustin, I'm like, you know what? That's all I'm jumping.
Yeah,
that is hilarious. That's hilarious. So, we'll get back to the main card, but obviously there was somebody who called you out, and it's funny. When we were at lunch that one day, I was asking you about Peyton Talbot, like, how good is this guy? And you were like, dude, he's really good. And I was like,
not so.
Dude, I was like, dude, I think he's gonna lose to Cameron Simon. And you're like, dude, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, what did you think of his performance? And just kind of him as a whole? And he called you out. So what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, we'll start with our first conversation about the Cameron Simon. I remember thinking that like when we had that conversation, like, yeah, no, he's good. It's just like the Cameron Simon test for him. Like I think I remember saying like they shouldn't have been fighting each other because they're both prospects still. And I just remember being like, man, Cameron, he's solid, man. He's solid. He's good. He throws in combinations, but I think it's still a stiff test for him. And then Talbot, man, he can strike, man. He has pop in his punches. And I just remember being nothing but praises in that. But still, like, there's still all those question marks. And like, man, he has to fight somebody that, that's going to put it on him. But I didn't think the person to do it was going to be Simon. I think Simon's good. I really do think Simon is legit. He's super legit, but he still needs to be in the building process and not fighting another prospect. I think he should be still being built. Kind of when you fight a guy like Christian Rodriguez, even though Christian Rodriguez had missed weight, it's more like, hey, like, you see some holes there. You need to fix it. Don't fight another stud immediately. Went from Christian Rodriguez to Peyton Talbot, and it's just like, hey, bro, like don't take that. You shouldn't have took that fight. Mentally you're not there for that fight. And then and that's not the right time for Cameron to be fighting Talbot. It should have been like a year or two before they fought each other. But yeah, again, like I knew like Talbot was just going to be too much for him at that point in time because, man, he's good. He reads a lot of things very well. So, but yeah, he's good. Like, yeah, again, even though he called me out, I'm still going to sing praises for him. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, and yeah, like I really like for me, I was really respecting the call out because I'm like, hell yeah, you're just bringing noise to the fight, and that's gonna put us at a higher level fight for us. And I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. Yeah, in his fight, he did what he was supposed to do against that guy. They brought him in. He was brought in to like make Cameron make Talbot look really, really good. So for me, he's like, again, if they put a can in front of you, you're supposed to treat him like a can. If that guy would have lasted more than a round and Talbot struggled a little bit, I'd be looking at me like, yeah, no, you still have work. But he just went out there and just, right hand's there, boom, dropped him, and then finished him off. So that was a really good, solid performance. You get a guy in front of you that you're supposed to beat like that. You're supposed to beat him how you're supposed to beat him. So great fight for him. Again, the call out man was I was sitting back. I was like, so the funny thing was, I was on the way to the to Circle Resort because that's where we're watching the fights. As we're driving and that happens, he knocks him out. I was like, okay, cool. I went to go sit on my seat, and then next you know, a Tesla pulls out, like fucking cuts off the bus and almost catches us in a wreck. And I'm like, oh shit. So I didn't hear the call out immediately. I'm like, oh yeah. And then Cameron Smotherman, my training partner, texts me with eyes emojis, and I'm just sitting back like, I was like, oh yeah. Like my immediate reaction, I sent to Cameron was like, yeah, that guy fucks. I was like, yeah, that guy fucks. and then I got started getting tagged left and right on Twitter and all that stuff, or X, whatever the hell you call it. And like I had people text me, it's like, oh, did you hear you call out? I was like, what? I looked, I was like, oh, he called me out. And then I sent Karen. I was like, oh, never mind. He just called me out. I sent that text back to Karen. I was like, never mind. He called me out. He doesn't do that.
That is,
so yeah, it was pretty dope. But then, that had a lot of steam for like maybe like 3 minutes, and then out of nowhere, the whole Diego and Brian Ortega stuff started popping off. So I was like, oh man, so like that call out really, it's like, man, I thought I was gonna have like at least like 15 minutes to live. It was cut short by the whole co-main event situation. I'm just sitting back, it's like, man, that could have been a lot bigger. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Do you think so? I guess what did you said that you respected the call out. Does he deserve to call someone out like you? You've been grinding. You were in the rankings. He's only had 3 fights in the UFC. Like, what do you think of that?
Oh man, closed mouths don't get fed. That's the again, for me, I don't really call people out. It's not really my thing. But I will call people out that called me out. I'll fucking if you mentioned my name, I'll be like, hey bro, like you wanted to fight me. So like there's let's go. So same thing. Like he gets added to the list on the people that have called me out. Nate Manison called me out. I was trying to have that fight happen, but he ended up fighting Umar and then going down to 125. So that fight just completely fell off for me. I was trying to fight Sean at the time whenever that fight was possible to make. The guy that stepped up was Tony Kelly because he had called me out. So I was like, fuck it, let's get that fight. Got that fight. Yeah, okay. So Sean ended up fighting Pedro Munoz and I fought Tony Kelly. So yeah, that kind of that there was like a whole little mixture. So I had 3 guys that had said my name one period before. The guy that I ended up getting was Tony Kelly. Everybody else took other type of matchups. And then from there, I got called out by Daniel Santos. Trying to fight him. Then John Castaneda trying to fight him. Now it's Peyton Talbot trying to fight him. So like, yeah, I got a list of people. Like, if you call me out, I'm trying to fight you. So, but again, like, he's supposed to call me out. He's supposed to look guys that are right there and call those guys out. Yeah, but I have no idea what's in the works for either of us. I haven't been approached by anything. Supposedly Sean Shelby has something lined up for me. I'm not sure. I'm just like, hey, once they send me a name, once they send me all this stuff, that's whenever I'm like, okay, I have a little bit of a bigger idea, but I have no idea what's going on.
If Sean Shelby calls you tomorrow or Jason House calls you tomorrow and says, all right, you're fighting Peyton Talbot on this date, are you accepting that fight?
Oh, yeah. There's nobody that I've turned down at all. So for me, it's like whoever Jason calls me with, or like Sean wants that. I'm like, all right, here we go. We do this. Like, I don't care. Like for me, like, again, it's one of those like, hey, you said my name. You think you can beat me up? All right, cool. Let's go prove this. Let's go settle this once and for all. I think the only person who I was like kind of I second guessed was Jonathan Martinez, and we had talked over last year on International Fight Week, and we both had the same thought process. We both didn't want to fight each other. Like but the part that kind of like that we're both similar as like, all right, cool. Well, your name's on the contract. We got to fight. We're both in the same. We're both like-minded like that. So, we didn't want to fight each other, but that was the it was like, hey, okay, so it is what it is.
Adrian versus Peyton in the Sphere.
I'm always down for whatever. The Sphere would be amazing.
Do you have a target date, man, when you're at least hoping to get back?
Man, I want to do August or September. I've been training, trying to get back in there, staying ready pretty much. Just need to get my eating habits in order, because I have people in international
Cut
fighting
down
calling
on the
me
Dr.
fat,
Pepper.
bro. Surprisingly, I've cut down a lot on Dr. Pepper as of late, because I'm just like, you know what? I say that, and I just look to my right, and there's the empty can right there. I was like, fuck. Like, God, I can't even lie to myself. It's like, I'm just like, fuck.
Oh, that's great.
Oh shit. But yeah, man, honestly, August or September, I hear rumblings that I'm hearing rumblings that they have a date or an opponent in mind. Just hearing rumblings, because I think somebody sent me a screenshot or like a tweet that said something about Talbot wanting the fight. Hold on, let me see if it's still there. Let me go back. That Talbot had talked to Sean and pretty much was like, I think I screenshotted it. Yeah, because I was like, Talbot says that his call out of Adrian may not happen until the end of the year, as Giannis is either booked or about to be booked. So Sean Shelby told Talbot that he has options and he may fight later this summer. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How does he know more than I do? I'm just sitting back like, what the fuck? I'm just like, I was like, yeah. So that threw me for a loop. And then I sent it to my manager. He's like, oh, that sounds about right. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I know nothing. I don't act like go out my way to talk to Sean. I still keep it professional and have my manager talk to him. So for me,
that's what they're there for. It's their job.
Yeah, hey man, I like talking to Sean, but not about fights. Not right now.
Right.
Not right now. I just like I like keeping business and like fun for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome, bro. Awesome.
All right. Well, let's get to some fan questions, Alex. What do you think? Let the people.
Let's go.
Let's get it. So we got a good segue here too from Jersey, who asked about Peyton Talbot, but he's mentioning how he was not allowed to re-enter the arena after fighting, and he's wondering, has that ever happened to you after you fought Adrian?
Man, okay, so for the my fight with Font, I was lucky enough that the doctors wanted to like keep me for an extra 20 minutes just to see if anything was wrong. I was good. Like I was good. I was just still distraught. Like I was like fucking pissed off with myself. Like, what the fuck, man? You fucking suck. I was like there just talking shit to myself. And then I was able to sit and kind of like peek through and kind of see the cage and start watching them fight and shit. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, there was only 2 fights after me. So for me,
right,
I was just like, all right, I get to watch these last 2 fights. So I was like, the doctors wanted to do their due justice and like make sure that I was good. So I was able to watch a little bit of the fights before I left, but the one in Texas in Austin, I honestly, I really didn't even think about staying. It was just such a dope experience. Like right after getting the win, I was like, fuck it. Like whatever we're doing, So I think I had an after party to get to as well. So I was like, I wanted to get there immediately.
Right.
So have a good time. I was trying to watch Edson Barbosa and Leon Murphy. I was trying to watch it, but it was just, I think there was just a lot going on. I ended up walking to the Iridium Sports Agency office. So I was like, fuck it. We're just going to go walk, have some pizza and shit. So yeah, for me, it was that was pretty simple and easy. At those times, I really don't have, really didn't get the chance to watch, but if I fight the Sphere and I fight the very first fight, I would be livid if I didn't get to go cage side or anything. I'd be like, hey, bro, I just fought for y'all, man. I'd be like, yo, come on, man, like hook me up, like, dude, I don't care. Give me one of those like outside foldable chairs. I'll do whatever, bro. Like, do you want me to sit next to you on the floor? I'll do that too. I was like, I don't care. I just want to watch. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind still being in my dirty ass clothes. I just fought in, blood in, sweat in, whatever it is. Might smell like ass right now because all the BO from all the adrenaline, but fuck it. I'm here. I don't mind this at all. I'd watch
Yeah,
the
that's on them for not letting you wash up. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, bro. Like, I don't care if I'm running off fans because I smell like ass right now. like
Oh, perfect. Thank you for that one, Jersey. We'll move to Rain here, as he likes to make his puns, as he says to Adrian Yanez, of eating Pez. What is your opinion on 135 as a division? Do you think it's better than 155?
Whoo, yeah. No, 100%. I do think it's better than 155. And like a lot of people would, a lot of people disagree with that. But for me, like, I just look at the rankings, and the rankings, everybody there is a fucking killer. And even on the outside, there's a lot of guys who are like, again, even just like the guy before, Peyton Talbot, like, he's a solid guy. He's shown like almost no weaknesses a lot of places whenever he's fought these guys. In 55, who outside the top 5 that who's outside the top 15 that off the top of your head that's like deserves to be in the top 15? But again, even like myself, you got also like people like I think his name is Daniel Marcos, right? That guy, undefeated guy, just beat John Castaneda, and even the guy that just beat Ricky Simone, and Ricky Simone was ranked bro. Like, a lot of these guys are outside the top 15, or deserve to have a number next to their name. We just don't have enough spots. Like, I believe I'm right. I'm along with those guys as well too, So like I don't like, again, I keep up with the 155 division, but it's just still like one of those things. Like, I still see it as top heavy, it's super top. The top 5, like Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, who else all is there? Islam,
Armin, Oliveira.
Charles Oliveira, Armin as well too. Like, and then to me, it starts kind of getting diluted for me. I'm like, all right, cool. Who else is there? Who else is there? I know, like, I think Bobby Green's there. I think Patty Pimlet's in there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Bobby, yeah. And then for me, I look at the 135 division. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You have Sean. You have Marab. You have Cheeto. You have Peter Yan, Henry, Umar. Did I say Corey already? Yeah, Corey. And then you have Munoz. You have Kyler Phillips. Then you have Rob Font. Did I say Henry Cejudo yet?
Yeah.
Let me see who else. I think I'm
floating around.
Yeah, Dominic. Yeah, Dominic's still there floating around. You got Jonathan Martinez. You got Jose Aldo, who's back in there now. Chris Gutierrez said. Is said ranked or not?
He might be 15.
So.
He might be
15. Might be 15. Montel Jackson as well. Mario Batista. Like, I'm starting to name guys who are outside the top 15 now. So it's like, bro, like, there's a lot of guys there that are killers, and I kind of get like, at 55, I can't really name them too much.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of the rankings, like of like the top 20 lightweights and stuff like that, like deserve to like be close there. Like, you have like a Garam, you have like a Thiago Moises, you have a Ludovic Klein, Joel Alvarez, Diego Ferreira. And then you can like maybe like a Matt Frivola, right? Like, that's super close. But you look at the fucking bantamweights, bro. There is so many guys. So like, I agree, man. It's like lightweight. I think like the top 15 is probably stronger than the bantamweight top 15.
Yeah.
But you can just
the
gap is just it's not even comparable. Plus bantamweight worldwide regional wise,
it's not close.
Not even.
Oh yeah. I still completely missed a lot of big names. I started looking at it. I was like, oh, I forgot Figgy was there. I forgot
right
was there. I was like, oh yeah, I named
Marcus
a lot.
McGee.
Yeah, bro. There's a lot of solid guys out there. Like for me, it's easier to name a lot of guys, especially like it's super biased for me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. Like, it's super biased for me because like yeah, I'm in that weight class. I want the weight class to be known as a bunch of killers. If you're ranked if you're ranked at one point in 135, then it's like bro, like you were in there with dogs, man. Like there's no
Yeah.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There's hardly any guys you can probably squeak past, or absolutely run through in the top 15. I feel like if you go into the top 15 in the 155, I feel like there's a lot of these guys that are just like can run through each other, if that makes sense. Like I feel like every fight in 35 is like, nah, it's a super competitive fight.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
For sure.
Oh
man.
shit, I forgot Hafia Aziz. Forgot about him for a little bit. Yeah, I want to see that guy fight again. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's healing from the ACL, so hopefully be back soon. But all right, here's a fun one from Alex and I's perspective here. But Ghost wants to know, Adrian, what do you think of journalists break inaccurate fight announcements?
Oh man, that break inaccurate fight announcements.
I think it's interesting to hear from your perspective as one of the guys who could be involved in that.
Yeah, man. I don't like. I don't know, man. Like, do we call them journalists? Like, would that like I wouldn't like. I know.
What a great counter question.
Like, would they be journalists, man? Like, because like I feel like they would hold each other to like a certain standard. Like I know, again, it kind of comes back to like if you see like Ariel Helwani posting it, you just like it's real. Like again, there's a lot of people that you look at, you're like, oh, they said it, it's real. But there's a couple like weird accounts that will say some shit and it makes no fucking sense. Like so yeah, no, it's I think one time there's one time that I think it got me once. I think it was ESPN and it had the blue check marks. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? That's the fight that I think it was like John Jones and fucking Stipe. And I was like I think it was like before like the hype, and I was like, oh yo, what the fuck? Is that really happening and shit? And I was like, oh damn. And then I think the next one where they said something wrong about John Jones, like him pulling out, like I think they said it was like some type of drug thing. I was like, no fucking way. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Again?
They got me again. I was like, I think I got twice. So yeah, I sometimes like it has to be like a blue check mark with the like it has to be something that looks legitimate. Like again, that one fucked me up pretty bad.
Yeah, the term journalist nowadays, especially in MMA, it's very fluid. Like
yeah. But I do believe that there can be like social media people that do it, but still try to report on it, but still do like other shit.
Right.
I guess I wouldn't even call them journalists, but I would call them like a content creator for MMA. That's the best way I can put it. Respect to what they do, but like I wouldn't call them a journalist.
I mean, not if they're getting it wrong. Fuck them.
Yeah, if they're getting it wrong, yeah, Perfect. The ones that make me laugh. The ones that make me laugh are those Instagram pages that like will completely be like the one I just saw one earlier today was like Diego Lopez was starting to date Sydney Sweeney. I just started laughing my ass. I was like, oh shit, that's hilarious.
So
dude, my best friend believed that. He asked me that like right after the fight. I was like, no, that's not
that was like I think that was the second time that was reported. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was with Diego and I showed it to him. He just started laughing. So yeah, that is
fantastic.
Awesome.
Oh shit. That never happens with me though.
Yeah, what's going on?
Come on,
spread
guys.
the love.
They'll do Charles Oliveira all day, every day. Diego Lopez, man, where's my love, guys?
Yeah, Adrian's now dating Megan Fox or some shit.
Oh shit.
He's gonna beef with MGK.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's a good fight nerd question from James asking, why do you think that not many fighters go to the body in MMA? The ones I see that are good to the body are yourself and Max Holloway.
I think that a lot of people don't see the payoff. Like I think a lot of people see a lot of knockouts, or like they're just not. Again, like you have a lot to focus on already just in MMA. Like you got there's a lot you got to worry about. There's boxing, kickboxing, the kicks, the punches, like everybody tries to go head hunting or tries to brutalize the legs, or they're trying to take you down, submit you. So there's a lot already going on. So I think like for me, like going to the body does a lot for me, offensively and defensively, like in a sense of like offensively, like, oh yeah, all right, cool. I'm slowly like uh uh deflating the tires. I'm slowly deflating the tires, so they can start moving a little bit slowly, start gasping for air. And then defensively for me, it also is like a counter for wrestling as well. I go here, take a jab to the chest, destabilize them, or like they're moving the head, you go to the chest. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that you can do. And also too, when you go left hook or right hook to the body, if they shoot, that's already underhook for you. So for me, like I use those body shots and everything for combination punching, but also at the same time, if they shoot, I thought that left hook to the body, I already have a left underhook. So for me, it works out very, very well in that sense. So that's how my style is kind of built, and how like it enhanced what I do. But then I started seeing how it would pay off in certain fights, like even like in the fight with like Randy Costa, like that one right there. Whenever like I slowed him down a little bit in that first round. I threw a left hook to the body. I remember him telling me after the fight, it was like that first left hook to the body, bro. Like it had me gasping slow. Like I didn't know what the fuck happened. And then that next round, whenever I threw that uppercut down the middle, he's like, yeah, that one sat me down, but that left hook to the body that he threw right before is what like I couldn't get back up. I was like, oh shit. And then even if you look in that fight with Tony Kelly, man, there's a lot of times where he threw that kick, and instead of me going back to the head with the hook, like I'll go to the body, and you can see a couple of times where I hit him and like his vein was popping, like, oh shit, like that one fucking hurt him. I was like, ooh. So yeah,
clenching.
Yeah, it does wonders, man. It does absolute wonders going to the body, man. Like it's very effective. But I think a lot of guys like don't see it that way. They don't look at it and be like, oh, well, like the body, is just a secondary, like just a secondary attacking place. Actually, I would say probably third, because they go head and legs, and then it would be the body. Where I feel like the body should be a good source of attacking, because again, like there is more likely chance of you hitting the body than you hitting the head. It's a bigger, there's more, places to land. The head is like a smaller target. The body is a bigger target. The legs are like a medium-sized target compared to the body, if the person knows how to check and all that stuff. So it's like I just don't think a lot of these fighters see it as, I guess, like in their mind, they're just like, I'm going for the knockout a lot of times, but going to the body usually sets up the head knockout at times. So I don't know. I just don't think people really think that way, and I don't think like depends on people's styles. Like even if they want to go there, like a lot of these guys want to wrestle, a lot of these guys are looking to point fight, and kind of looking to stay back or just be all the way in, so for me, it's one of those places that I really want to touch the body so I can see if you give a little wince. If you give a little wince, I'm like, ooh, yeah, bitch,
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually asked Eric Nixick and Danny Davis that exact same question, and they were basically right, exactly what you were saying. They also added that like a lot of fighters don't really know how to throw a perfect liver punch, liver kick, and like they've never really been taught that. If it's like a liver kick, they're afraid of throwing that kick and getting taken down. So like there's so many factors in it, but they basically just parroted exactly what you said.
Oh yeah, like again, it's just one of those things that like there's so much in MMA that works, and it's like I feel like like going to the body is something that really really works, but I just don't think that they want to use it to their advantage. Like again, it's a main source of attacking spots. There's a lot going on there. You can again, like if you're like whiffing on body shots, then bro, like you got to work on something. Like bro, like you have no accuracy at this point. If you can't touch the body, you're not going to be able to touch the head. Especially you got a guy who's able to move around and all that stuff. And you got to be able to work. Again, for me, also at the same time, it's perfect for wrestling defense, and I love it. I want people to shoot.
So this is a perfect segue question then, and you kind of, I think, are answering it a little bit here. But Barton, Spackle Chris, one of my favorite names in our comments here, but he's saying that you mentioned on Luke Thomas's show that you can train your eyes for defense, and he's wondering, is that only acquired through experience in fights and sparring, or is it something you can drill? So I think you kind of touched hinting at that a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, for me, like training the eyes, man, it's one of those things where like I have done a lot of mitts, and I'm usually looking at like I'm never really looking at the pads like or anything like that. I'm usually looking at the center of the chest anyways, because I'm gonna have to use my peripherals anyways. I'm never looking at, like, if they say jab, I don't look at the pad immediately and try to hit that one spot, or they say, hey, cross. All right, cool. They hold the pad up for the cross. I'm looking at the cross and all that stuff. Usually, like, I'm just looking at the chest, and even on the defensively aspect, whenever you start drilling on the defense aspect, like going back and forth with your training partner, man, I never look. If I tell the fighter, hey, you're gonna throw the 1, 2, 3 at me, I'm never looking at the punches going 1, 2, and 3, like trying to like catch them shooting. Like, I'm looking at the chest, because the chest right here, like whenever you're throwing combinations, like if I throw that right hand, I have to move a certain way, and you see the chest, like the base moves before the actual punch is gonna come. So if you leading with his shoulder or the right side starting to come forward, something on the right's going to come, and it makes it easier, like in real time, to be like, okay, punch, okay, kick, like, oh shit, like it helps minimize a lot of that factor where it's like, all right, well, is he going to come at the left side if he's turning his whole right shoulder over? Like there's a lot of stuff that you can drill off of that. Just like, all right, cool, he's gonna throw the right, he's gonna throw something on the right, he's gonna throw something on the left. It makes it easier. Like, again, even when people throw jabs, like a lot of these guys want to extend and get longer reach on their jab, they have to turn their body, they have to turn their chest, so it makes it easier to catch, so that's probably what I would say helped me out a lot. And then on top of that, I kind of have a lot of good reflexes myself. There's definitely people with way better reflexes than I do, but the way I can usually beat them at times is, again, going back and like not 100% counting on my reflexes, but counting on like what they're going to throw, because again, it starts at the base. It starts all right here, torso. You're going to see what they want to throw. The better you can fade with the torso, the more, like, the better you can start getting to guys who are just being really reactionary, But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do.
Man.
There's a lot of things you can do to help that out. Don't, like, you can use your eyes to feint too. You can look low, go high, look high, go low. That would help you out in the long run too, where you can train and start doing a lot of that stuff. Because again, there's a lot of stuff where you can, like, again, misdirect somebody. Misdirection. It's just stuff you're gonna have to train. You're gonna have to drill. Then also too, man, like for me, playing a lot of video games also kind of helps me out, because I'm like always like looking, trying to see hand-eye coordination. Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like that is a great addition, because you're like, if you're playing like stuff like Apex or Call of Duty and all that stuff, like you're having to look around trying to see where it's coming from. It helps out. Like they used to tell me that games.
Alex, he just hit both of our games right there. Those are both
like,
Alex and I's multiplayer games.
So like, so again, that kind of helps out as well too, because you're gonna be on high alert and you're looking to go see who's like, oh shit, all right, cool. There's a guy 100 feet away. I can shoot that motherfucker. All that stuff. Like it gets easier. It gets easier. You start being able to spot little shit like that, so you're able to kind of catch up, and it helps out. Not gonna say that we become the greatest boxer playing fucking Apex or Call of Duty, but it will help, like, you being able to see some shit.
So basically what you're saying is, if I'm good at Call of Duty, I can be a UFC fighter.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex. Take it all the way. Take it all the way, brother. Go ahead. Go for it. Well, I will say though, like, look, like, well, even just say, like, look at all the people who play, who do end up playing games. Like, look at what a lot of these guys,
good
like,
point.
they have great. Look at Max Holloway. I will say, like, we're in the same division. He might be the champ, but Sean O'Malley, bro, look at him. He plays games.
Yeah.
Like, is Israel Adesanya? He plays. There's a lot of good guys.
Mighty
like,
Mouse.
Yeah, 100%.
So
like,
playing video games is the best base for MMA.
Oh yeah, look, I'm telling you, man. There's a correlation there. Might just be throwing shit at a wall hoping it sticks, but look, the facts are there, guys. A lot of the greats play video games.
It's really true.
Good point.
Okay, before the next question though, Adrian, I gotta ask you because I asked every fighter I talk to that brings up Apex. I gotta ask, what's your main man? Who's your main, bro?
Main. Oh, I go through a rotation every once in a while, but the guy that I usually play the most is Fuse, just because I like being
Okay.
annoying. I like being super annoying.
He's very fucking annoying.
Yeah, like it's just oh man, it's like especially whenever I'm able to get somebody in a room and just knuckle cluster, it just fucking I load up on grenades, and like there's always that one guy who's like fucking octane and tries to run off, and I will just shoot it just straight ahead of him, and he gets hit by that one, and it just knocks him, because I know I just fucked him up, right? And then he fucking goes, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'm sending this knuckle cluster, and I hit him with one, and I can tell that they're fucking pissed because they're down, it ends up turning into just a box. So I'm like, yeah, you exited the game, you little bitch. Yeah, no, it turns into the whole thing for me, man. But yeah, it's a great time.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Alex, I'm sure you're not aware, you don't play Apex, but Fuse is the guy who gets like extra grenades, more grenades than everybody. So the knuckle cluster is pretty much like a firecracker version of like 3 grenades. So it just put it in a room, you just destroy the person.
When I was playing Apex, I was always the robot dude.
Oh, Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his little quirky lines, man.
He's the funniest for sure.
That I'm not gonna lie. There was one time I got caught by surprise by Fuse whenever we were playing with Bloodhound, and I was like, he said something. I think it was a thank you to Bloodhound, and he just goes saying, "I'll smack you on the butt right now, bro." I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd this come from? What the fuck? I was like, oh. It caught me off guard, and I was like, "Wait, did he just say what I think he said?" And I turned on my mic. I was like, "Did he just say what I think he said?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, he did." I was like, "I apologize. I apologize for that."
The AI is getting too human-like. That's what is happening with him. All right, let's circle back though to a fun conversation we had a little bit last week, Adrian. As Jimmy is asking, how interested really are you in catching the power slap buddies?
Man, I'll say it like this, man. I would want to catch at least once, man. At least once, man. Like you gotta let me do that. I'm just not gonna catch no heavyweight motherfuckers, all right? Like I'm not willing to tear an ACL trying to catch these guys. I'll leave that to Forrest Griffin. He's a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and I'm just like, oh shit, like that guy's good. So he has the perfect posture for that to catch a big guy. For me, give me the lighter guys. I'll catch a shit out of those guys all day, every day. But other than that, then like. I have no interest in trying to catch a guy who just weighed in at 185. That's probably 200 now. I'll catch a 145er all day, every day.
Realistically, what's the price? What's the price to get you to do power?
Oh man, just the admission in. Just the admission in. That's all it takes for me, man. Like, oh wait, you're telling me I can catch somebody right now? Like you're telling me I'm their trust fall right now. I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it. Just let me watch.
How much would they have to pay you to actually slap somebody or get slapped?
Oh yeah, no, that's when numbers start coming.
Different story.
Hey,
How much?
Hey, bro, I'd probably say, just because I know I'd have to take a slap, and depending on who they put in front of me is gonna have to be a good opponent who can slap a shit out of a motherfucker. I will probably have to go like, if it's has to be something that because I'm definitely nothing less than 6 figures. Like we can start talking around like maybe 250, 400. I'm like, all right, we're starting to have serious conversation. 500, like we have to be with the right opponent. Like 250, I'm like, hey, look, bro. Like if we're gonna, like, I have to hit first. Negotiate the terms. It can't be the best guy out there. It has to be some guy who's just like if I look at this guy and he's skinny, like, bro, I'll take it all day, every day. Like he can't have no back definition whatsoever. Like, all right, cool. Let me have that. Let me have that guy. I'll slap the shot out of that guy for 250 for sure. But like as the price goes up as the person they put in front of me. 500, I'm like, we can talk. He can be good, but he can't be that fucking good, like if I'm getting the best guy in the world, all right.
Is
cool,
anybody really
just give me
good
a
though,
million.
Adrian? Let's be honest. Is anyone?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Like I just watched that shit on TikTok or shit. Like just seeing people slap the shit. Like, oh, okay. So like I don't know. Like I saw Paige Van Zandt do it really well, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? That gives me some confidence, but I'm not doing it for anything under 500 for sure. Like anything under 500, it has to be at 250, and it has to be against a guy who's just dog shit. You know, it has to be ass water, bro. I'm not taking no slap to the face, bro. I find it. I've always found it so disrespectful to slap somebody. So it's like you slap me, bro. Like we're fighting. So it's like. So like that hand sometimes, like if I get the right person, he's talking shit to me. He starts like doing what they do, like after they slap, like they get slapped, they go, yeah, oh yeah, like fuck, and I just start being like, yeah, or start talking shit. I'd be like, all right, this hand just turns into a balled up fist. Like, oh shit, all right, but yeah, man, a mil for probably $1 million for like a good guy. Like I guess I would say like a top 15 guy for sure in the world. Yeah, for sure. But again, as we start talking prizes, like, all right, cool. This is where we start. Like,
right,
250. Give me a shit guy. Give me a guy I'm gonna beat. Just give me one slap at the guy. Fuck it. If I know he doesn't hit hard, all right, let him have the first one. That's where I'll catch it at.
Oh, perfect. So continuing with contract talk here real quick. I'm assuming this is a no, but Jin is asking, are you still on your Contender Series contract? I can't imagine.
Oh, good God. Oh, good. Wow. Damn. I've had to talk to Jason about this one.
Yeah, right.
Jason, what the fuck am I still doing on my Contender Series contract? Wait, what? What am I doing, man?
Shamed, and now
I was like, what the fuck, man? No. Yeah, I've been past that. So yeah, I've been past it. Yeah, the Contender Series, like I don't know. Do people understand like the difference between the Contender Series and Tough? Like they're two separate things, but like Tough,
so.
like the Ultimate Fighter is it's a whole different entity. You don't have like a Contender Series. You don't have like, hey, look, 100,000. Like we got you a 6-figure contract, but you have 8 fights. It sounds good in the moment, but then all of a sudden you start looking back at it like, oh, Contender Series contract. So you sign for the Contender Series, you fight. That's it. You win the fight, you get a regular UFC contract, and you get their standard, pay coming in, depending on how, I guess certain people are, like some people might be like really high up there with pay. Like I think some people might get a special treatment or something. But it just depends on who you are. Like against like Bo Nickel, I don't think he would get the standard contract. Like I have no idea how much he gets paid, but I wouldn't think that he got the standard regular UFC contract coming in. Yeah, like again, like if Patchy Mix were like let's just say they do Patchy Mix in the Contender, do you think he's gonna get like a regular contract?
They shouldn't,
going
first
in?
of all.
Yeah, he shouldn't be on the Contender. He shouldn't be doing a Contenders fight either way. But I was trying to use that as an example. Like, oh, do you think he's gonna get the standard UFC contract? That motherfucker just made $1 million over there. Like, he's not gonna.
Right.
He's not. So again, like it had to be like those type of guys. Like it's two separate complete contracts. You don't get locked into like a straight like Tough, the Ultimate Fighter type of contract. I actually kind of feel better for those guys who lose in the house, but then they get another shot. They get another shot in the UFC. So sometimes I think they end up having. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how much the Ultimate Fighter contract has changed. So, but for me, I love the contracts that I'm at.
Sitting pretty. Okay, well, we can maybe wrap up with maybe 2 more here, Adrian. Then we have this little thing we call Movie Club. If you want to stick around for that, we will let you or not. I'm sure you
dipping
the movie or not. But before we let you go, we'll toss this to Rain here, who he asked, why do you think it is that 145 division is not as good as 135 or 155? You would think that 145 would be just as good as those because it's the middle of the divisions.
Yeah. there's a lot of fucking, like, I'll say like this, there's a lot of good 45ers. There's definitely a lot of good 45ers. I just don't know why they don't, I guess, get the like same treatment, I guess, for 45 and like for 35 and 55. I don't know, because they do have a lot of killers there. Again, like Edson Barbosa's still up there, but again, he's just kind of at that tail end of that. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys who man, like I know it kind of shook up the division a little bit with now I guess Ilya Taporia being the champ now. It kind of shakes things up, but for the longest time you had like guys who were just kind of reigning terror over the top. You know, you had Max Holloway, he kind of just ran through the whole division, and then you had Volkanovski, who kind of ran through the whole division, you know, and it kind of, I guess, like once you have super dominant champs, like kind of makes the division not look as good, I guess. You know, like if you got fights where the title's switching hands every, like almost every other fight, you know, I think like the most I think Aljo had gotten uh was like 3, right? He got 3 wins pretty much, and then that like switched up real quick, and once it switched, it kind of opened up the division a little. Not open it up, but it makes it look like really solid fighters, you know. But I don't know. It might just be the promotional standpoint, because I'm looking. Oh yeah, you know what I'm looking. Yeah, like the top 5 is like mostly guys who kind of fought for the belt, you know, and kind of been there for a while. Like Alexander Volkanovski has been there for a while. Max Holloway's been there for a while. Brian Ortega's been there for a while. Yari Rodriguez has been there for a while. Like all these guys have already had their chances. They're still top 5. They're still top 5.
It's very similar to like lightweight, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I just don't think they get like, I guess, like I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, like, because it feels like it's definitely like a push. Like I don't know if it's promotional wise or whatever. Because again, like you start even looking, you start seeing Movzar, Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett, Aljamain Sterling, Calvin Cater, Giga Chikazi, Leon Murphy, Bryce Mitchell, Dan Ige, Diego Lopez, Edson Barbosa. Like, bro, a lot of these guys are fucking animals. They're fucking good,
Yeah.
you know. And again, I don't know. It just might just be a promotional thing, man. Because I see all these like. I see all these like fucking badass fighters on here, and it's just kind of just like, man, like why don't they get the push that 35 and 55 do? Because I kind of look like it kind of, I kind of see it as like, again, just like you said, Alex, like, it's almost like the same thing as 55, but like again, I feel like I look at 45 and there's a lot more like competition in the top 15 than the 155 top 15. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. Oh yeah, once I actually compare compare to the division, I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like Mozart, Arnold Allen, Lerone
Mm.
Murphy, Giga. Like they fight once a year, right? So they're not
Yeah,
Right.
as active. So they're kind of like very stagnant.
yeah, and there's not a lot of movement, and like, well, yeah, even the top guys, man, like Brian Ortega, how
Right.
long has he had to fight? Like Yair Rodriguez, how long has he
Yep.
fought? Like,
Once
I
a year,
think it's
maybe.
just I think it's just the inactivity probably why they're not getting pushed. I can't, like, I think the last time I remember Josh Emmett fighting was Bryce Mitchell, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
Bryce Mitchell, and then, well, he did fight in UFC Austin, right? He fought Ilya Taporia.
That was
Well, that,
before.
Calvin
yeah,
Cater.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
Calvin
that was
Cater, and
it.
then Calvin Cater, then Elia, then Bryce Mitchell.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
I
then
think that's the
that's
order. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like, because even then, if you look at some of these guys, like Poirier, he recently got a little bit more active. Justin Gaethje, kind of like
Twice a
mostly
year, maybe.
inactive. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it'd probably be due to inactivity. I think that'd be it.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly fair. We're debunking all the myths here, so we can close it out with this one from Synchro, as we'll leave this one with you, Adrian. If you can debunk the myth that Umar Nurmagomedov is not the most ducked fighter at 135.
Man,
I'm sure
Adrian
you've heard
finally.
that thing.
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to know, because I don't know what goes on behind the closed doors and scenes. Because supposedly, like supposedly people be getting booked. You know, people just be getting booked. You know, so I don't know. Like if there was really
Never
a
been
thing, like,
offered.
Nah, I've never been offered. So yeah, I've never been offered to fight Umar. Like I've never been offered like again, anybody who's like they put in front of me or gave me a name, like I always said yes to that guy. Like whoever they said, you know. Like there was a couple times where I should have fought at MSG, like Madison Square Garden. But that didn't happen because people turned me down. So I was like, fuck. So yeah, no, it's shit. It shit happens, you know. So and also it doesn't help that he kind of like he had a big fight last year with Corey. He's kind of in the same position. He had a big fight in front of him, then ends up getting injured, you know, so it doesn't really help him out. But yeah, I think people like I don't think he's like the most ducked, but for sure, like there's probably a lot of people who turned him down for sure. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm just sitting back like, yeah, I don't know 100% too much on like what goes on behind the scenes with them, you know.
Right.
Like I can only speak about what I've been offered and what's been offered at me, and like on like if I see on Twitter like who's been offered what, you know, like when it comes to like like the actual journalists who say like yeah they're in talks with this and all that stuff, I can only speak on that. I just don't know what because again I've never been offered any one of those guys.
For sure. Yeah, it doesn't tie into you aside from the division, so makes sense, man. All right, well, we'll wrap up the Q&A portion there, but yeah, Alex reminded me, I forgot, we got a segment on here that we call Welcome to Spotlightville, Adrian, and we wanted to get you in here real quick before we let you go. It's usually when we highlight the prospects of the week. So, man, just kind of any teammates or fighters on the come up that, you know, in your personal experience you think are hot right now you want to share with the people.
Oh yeah, man! I'm always gonna shout out my guy Cameron Smotherman at these moments. You know, upcoming regional guy that had his shot in the contenders. You know, but just got caught in the wrong position at the wrong time. You know, but for him, be able to come back and still be able to go out there and fight and knock people's heads off, man. If there's anybody that should be signed to UFC just based off their style, Cameron's one of those guys. Like he goes for it. He hits like a truck. And yeah, like if you like watching me fight, you'll definitely like to watch him fight. Especially him. He has way more character than I do. I'm a little bit more reserved, but this guy, like I think his last fight, he looked at a judge and says, "Fuck you, you should quit your fucking job." Like, yeah, so like yeah.
Bravo for that.
Yeah, like he's like, you guys like, he pulled a Chael Sonnen on that guy. So for me, I was like, hey man, like I would absolutely love to see him in the UFC just because I had like bigger platform, something like that, man. You know how fucking viral that shit would go? Like, oh my gosh. You know, and everybody already hates judges. So like that would just double down to make it like way bigger. So yeah, if you give Cameron the spotlight on something like that, bro, it just makes it so much easier. Like, oh yeah, he already has that like he has the fighting style. And then on top of that, he likes to talk shit. And then on top of that, like if he don't like something, you know you're gonna hear from him. Like
super petty, super petty.
Yeah, I love that shit too. He's super. He'll go back and just start talking mad shit. Like he'll make posts about it. Like I love it. Like I love the energy he brings. You know. So I would have to say definitely Cameron Smotherman. Like his fight right after the Contender Series, he fights a guy who's fucking like who usually runs through people, like fucking Mondo Gutierrez. And bro, he just flying knee knockout, like a walk-off flying knee, knocked him out in the third. Had a really good close fight with Ryan Coos, who's from Goat Shed, you know, and that build-up was fucking crazy. And then even the afterwards was fucking crazy. And yeah, like he's had a lot of like even look at his bantamweight title fight where he slept like walk-off again. Like this guy like has a lot of walk-offs, man. I'm gonna give this guy a lot of praise. He's a fucking killer.
Hell yeah, man. And 4 Ounces of Freedom says, Cam with the great fight on 7/21 at Fury FC here. Is that coming up?
Oh, yeah. Stay busy, fight for him.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there, man. But Adrian Yanez, we appreciate you, sir. Thanks so much for coming to hang out. And for an hour or so, man, we look forward to whatever the future holds, whatever's next. Hopefully something soon, what you're hoping for. And yeah, we'll be tuning in, man. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank y'all so much, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. I would do it. I would do that. The movie,
the movie club,
the movie club with y'all. But man, I got to get ready soon.
There you go. There you go. No worries.
Houston traffic sucks ass, bro.
For sure.
Fair enough.
All right,
We'll
brother.
talk
Take
soon,
it
bro.
easy, man. All right, you guys. Adrian Yanez. Man, what a guy. He's way more knowledgeable than I realized, Alex. I'd never met him yet, but
Oh, he's great.
damn.
He's
Jeez.
the fucking best.
Yeah, so great stuff there, you guys. Thanks to everybody for the comments. I know we couldn't get to all of them because he had so much to say, and that's a good thing, right? You love when somebody's got a lot of insight and things to share. So apologies to the questions we didn't get to, but I tried to pick out kind of the ones, give everybody get their own question that they put in there. So we appreciate you guys. That was really fun. And people calling for him to be our new third, Alex. So I think he'll be too busy for that, maybe. But yeah, we'll have him on again for sure. So I don't know. Maybe Alex can convince him. Might have to get him on the payroll in that case, but I'll have to talk to the boss about that. So. But yeah, good stuff there. Great dude. A lot of fun. But all right. With that, let's get to the Drelex Movie Club, Alex. This week, we got one offered to us from our boy in the comments there. Was it Zach? I get the screen names mixed up. So is he Octagon Updates or 4 Ounces of Freedom? Whoever it was, I apologize.
4 ounce, yeah.
It's 4 ounce. Okay. He shouted out SLC Punk for us to watch this week. The classic from 1998, Matt Lillard's kind of, I don't know if you would say it's his big break. I'm not sure of the timeline there, but my goodness, Alex, I fucking loved this movie, man. I thought that this was great. It was way better than I anticipated. I mean, I always had heard that it was a pretty culty classic. I mean, the budget or however much it pulled in was like 300,000 at best, like real low numbers, all that stuff. But dude, I thought I really liked this a lot. What'd you think?
It's funny. So as soon as I started it and I watched like the first 15 minutes, I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking hate this movie because I absolutely hate the punk scene. It's not for me. I have a lot of punk friends. I've been around the punk scene a lot. I do not like it. I'm like, I'm out, bro. Like, I'm out. But as the movie started going, like, and first plus, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be one of these movies where I'm gonna be like on my phone and watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as they started going, I got off my phone, I started watching it, and I started to connect with the characters and the story. Heroin Bob is a fucking gem. And yeah, I mean, dude, the end of the movie, like maybe like kind of like.
Yeah. That was way sadder than I expected.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just, I really like how I'm expected to hate a movie, and it really turned me around, and I ended up really enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It starts off kind of feeling a little bit, I don't want to say cheesy, but it feels like, a 90s kind of comedy for a sense, like something that doesn't have a lot of depth pretty much, right? But it slowly kind of snowballs. The more we get Steve-O doing his rants, his monologues, which I thought were fucking excellent every time he's talking, breaking the fourth wall, just incredible. And I mean, Matt Lillard, just got to shout him out because too good as Steve-O. He was fucking chef's kiss, probably his best performance, exceptional. I love the guy in general. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and I'm ashamed that I didn't see this one till now, but God, he was just so perfect in that role. And I mean, yeah, fun. It's a fun movie. It's sad. It's deep all at the same time. Like, I got so much more out of it than I thought I would. And that's kind of the big, great thing for me. And man, Alex, I just think really like all of the characters they meshed together so well when they all had such uniqueness to them, right? Like, you said Heroin Bob there, he's a gem and kind of, maybe arguably the most damaged character. I think probably you could say that. And, you get your connections with him throughout. Mark is just wicked unhinged, for as long as he's around. And it's weird to see him because I always imagine, I can't help but think of Inglourious Bastards when I see Till Schweizer, I believe is his name. And Jason Segel was just great to see right away. I didn't realize he was in the movie. He was fucking excellent too as Mike. What a great character. The nerd who's like a punk at the same time. This movie was fucking awesome, dude. I loved it. The concert scene I thought was perfectly encapsulative kind of the vibe that they were going for. I mean, this was just like a a very solid 9 out of 10 for me. I feel like I can't go 10 just because of it's just not kind of, when you have a perfect movie or like a 10 out of 10, you think of the comparisons and stuff, but I loved it. I would happily watch this again. I would recommend this to everybody. It's just a good time, and again, deceives you in the beginning. Like you said, I think, I mean, I almost say, I wouldn't say the halves are two different movies, but it takes a big shift at a point, right?
Yeah, well, no, 1000%. Yeah, yeah, no, it was yeah, but plus like I had my own like buy like I just don't I'm not a punker, bro. Like I do not like that music. I don't like those people. Like it just get me the fuck away from that. And so like going into it, like I was like, yeah, I just
Here
nah,
we go.
yeah. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I'm being stuck here for an hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, I ended up enjoying it. Solid 7 out of 10. Probably won't watch it again, but I will remember. I will remember it. So
Yeah. It's really funny too because I did know a guy who was just like Steve-O. I used to know a guy in high school, like not so much really into the punk scene or with the look really, but personality wise, he was kind of less aesthetically punk, but it reminded me a lot of that old friend I used to have. So that was funny to see. But I think we've all known a kid like that growing up.
yeah, for sure.
Oh man. As 4 ounces said, I'm 18, and for the first time in my life, the back and forth with his parents too, like Christopher McDonald was excellent as his dad here.
Yeah.
Some great stuff. Rio says, I didn't expect Bob to die in that for Steve-O to break down the way he did. Yeah, I mean, as soon as he took all the pills, I knew he was going to die, right? I mean, like, I didn't expect him to get to that point or him to cave on it, but like, gosh, that just really hits you. That whole from pretty much leaving his dad's shed type thing, you're kind of like, it's a little dark, it's a little dark, the part of that. So yeah, the ending really gets you there. As far as I said, the sequel is an easy 2 out of 10 if that's a high enough score. Well, I don't never plan on watching that one. I had looked into that before watching it, and I was like, they did the thing where they try to revive something way too late, right? So we'll pass on that one. But yeah, SLC Punk, phenomenal, such a hidden gem, cult classic. Highly recommend. I'm glad that we got around to this one. So you're 1 for 1, 4 ounce. You're 1 for 1. So keep the suggestions coming. That is a high bar to hit. But as for this week, Alex, we got some new releases coming here. Some ones that are coming out if you want to hit them. But before we talk about what we want to watch this week, did you see you saw the movie last night?
I sure did.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It
was a Quiet Place, by the way, you guys.
Yeah. A Quiet Place day one. It puts you right back into the Quiet Place universe. And it's kind of cool. I mean, there's not a whole lot of like people trying to figure out like what's happening and like you have to stay quiet, right? Like they kind of like go right into it. But it was good. It was good. It was there was some really good scares in it. The drama's good. The sound effects are good. Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic as always.
Good.
Yeah. So go see it. It's good.
Where do you rank it between all the movies?
Man, it's tough. It's tough. Like, it's tough because like A Quiet Place was. I think you got to go number. I think the first one's number 1.
No.
I think this. I think I'm gonna just go in order. I think it's 1, 2, and 3. I think day 1's number 3 comes in number 3 just because I liked number 2 how they expanded it and they continued the story and stuff like that. So I do think this one was a little bit scarier than the second one. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I've only seen the first one, and like that is definitely one of the movie's attention ball. That is what it is meant to be, and it delivers. So if you haven't seen A Quiet Place and you want Some
Yeah,
serious
it's
tension.
always funny seeing like actually going to see Quiet Place in the theater. Like it's so fucking quiet in there
Right.
that like you can hear people eating their
I
popcorn.
yeah.
Yeah, and actually some dude was like, "Get off your fucking phone!" Like halfway,
Really?
yeah, like halfway through the middle. Yeah, dude. People nowadays just have no respect for people. Like, bro,
No.
like, come on, like, dude, get off your phone for fucking 2 hours in a dark
Right.
theater. Like, you can't respect that. Like,
At least turn the brightness all the way down.
dude,
That's what I
right,
do.
dude. There was some chick sitting right next to me who was on her phone the entire time, but I didn't notice because it was completely dark. Well, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, obviously
There
she's
you
not
go.
watching the movie.
Yeah. That's crazy. You're paying to be there, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Whatever. Couldn't be me. All right. But yes, as for this week, though, Alex, what are you feeling? Because this is Maxine release week, right? Mia Goth, she
Well,
does
first
not.
of all, yeah, I'm down to watch that. Have you seen these two movies? Have you seen Independence Day and have you seen Jaws?
Independence Day was a long time ago. That's a blind spot. That's a blind spot. And then I have never seen the original Jaws. No.
Oh my
We got to do that. We got to do that. he's, he's died. I killed Alex.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that's with that reaction. I have to then.
Oh,
I'm
well,
I'm fine
I,
with it. I'm open to
uh,
it.
all right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go see Maxine, so you can
You're
go
gonna
see
hit
Maxine
do
too.
a double header. We'll
Yeah,
do one
yeah,
together.
yeah.
We'll do Maxine then separates.
Yeah, for sure. You can do that, or you can just do 2 movies and just watch Jaws because bro, it's 4th of July. You have to
Okay.
watch Jaws, bro.
That is true. That is true. I have less work to do this week. So yeah, all right. I'll take Jaws and Maxine. And then yeah, we'll just give Alex Maxine there. Because yeah, I am a big Mia Goth fan. And I wanted to say this to Alex because she's kind of, we loved Poor Things, right?
Mhm.
And Emma Stone was amazing. Puts it all out there. People need to realize Mia Goth did that. She does that all the time. She did that before Emma Stone. She's the original. Fuck it, I'm sending it for my role actress. So,
Yeah, no, yeah, she's great. Yeah, no,
uh,
she's great. I've watched all of her ones that she's done with Ty West, and yeah, they're so good. So
I remember. I think Cure for Wellness was the first movie I saw her in, and that's one of my personal favorites. And I didn't know how old she was at first. So when like, what is it? Jason Isaacs like rips her shirt off. I was like, what is happening?
yeah, no.
Because like her character was kind of like that, you know.
Did you see X or Pearl?
I still haven't got to him, but I want to. I know you. I asked you about him, and you said
Yeah,
because I asked you if you could watch Pearl before X,
yeah,
just because that's a prequel, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, for sure you can.
yeah, but I'm
I,
definitely
I,
interested.
I still can't believe you've never seen fucking Jaws, bro. Like
I
what?
know, neither can Rio.
Like, what, bro?
I
Dude,
don't know. I don't have a good explanation for that one. I really don't like. I love the thought of it. I mean, fucking ocean stuff scares the shit out of me. Maybe that's why, but I'm down for it. I don't have any qualms with that. So all right, there we go.
God.
Well, I mean, come on, it's what also 70s again. So
I mean, yeah, but it's one of the most fucking
I
iconic movies
know.
of all time, dude.
Fair enough.
It's like, dude, Star Wars and Jaws in the same like 3 weeks. What the hell?
This is the point of this segment, okay, guys? Don't
God
hate me.
damn.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, before we get on out of here, you guys, I did see that there were we'll get these ones that I starred, these kind of random questions for the end of our show Q&A. We'll still do that real quick.
Oh, I did see someone saying if they pay me to like if Dana pays me to do Power Slap, dude.
Yes, answer that real quick.
I've had said every time I post, it's like, dude,
Commented
Dana
clockwork.
does not give a fucking shit if I'm there or if anyone's there. No one
He's doing
cares
it
if
either
I'm
way.
there. Dude, 1000%. I was there. I missed the last 2. I did this one because Paige Van Zandt was there. She's a former UFC fighter. She gets clicks. She was doing Power Slap. So, former UFC fighter doing Power
The
Slap.
math here is
Kind of. So, I am there. I'm going to report on it. Plus, there's nothing else to do on that Friday night. So, there we go. So, no. I would fucking take a paycheck from them if they would give it to me, but they're not paying. They're not paying anybody to be there, dude.
Yeah.
So,
So
yes.
hey, at least he's admitting it, guys.
Yeah.
And I beg to differ on nothing better to do on a Friday in Vegas, but that's just me personally. It's a preference thing.
Technically, that was such a long day. I could have definitely stayed home, but I was like, "Fuck it,
We're already here." Yeah,
I'm there to see Paige. If she gets slept, I'm there.
Right. And yes, Rio, the movie club is the point of it is to out me the movies I haven't seen 1,000,000%. I mean, honestly, that is practically the origin of it for the most part.
Basically.
Oh man. And yeah, now this is circling back to our MBS versus Jason talk as Rio's asking, can I write more articles like that one that make more people angry? Of course. I mean, yeah, we decided on that earlier too. That one turned out well in all respects. It got engagement and I was right. So I'm just a big winner this week.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, yes, indeed. And Hype asking how about Sayuri picking up a loss in her Invicta debut. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that because of course went to Invicta FC 55 this past Friday out in Kansas City. Sayuri Oshima just complete. This was going to be in the underrated moment this week, but massive upset to Andressa Romero. Just ridiculous that the number 3 ranked atomweight in the world loses to an unranked fighter on a 2-fight losing streak, 1-3 in her last 4. Was a very fun fight, competitive. Mainly, you get what you get out of Sayuri in that first round, and stunningly, she wins that because of just effective offense. And what you just imagine a Sayuri Oshima fight, a win. That round is what it looked like. One of the fucking judges scored it against her because Kansas City judging is the worst in America. And then, yeah, she's really got to work on that head movement because that essentially cost her the rest of round 2 and 3. So impressive stuff from Romero, but gosh, damn, that was rough and crazy to see. But a bummer for the trip, but a good card overall. So, all right, then we'll close out here with Ghost with a reposted question asking if one source confirms the fight, but the other doesn't confirm. Do you think that fight news should be reported hypothetically?
No.
Hypothetically speaking.
No, it should. Dude, it's even like I would say only like you need at least 2 sources at all times to report something, unless you get that news from Dana White or Hunter Campbell said these 2 are fighting. Even
There's
then,
like some exceptions. Yeah.
Even then, like maybe you should even go and check, like, did you sign the contract or not? But like that's the only way you could like straight up tweet something or post something or write something up. But like the fight business is so much different from like this player's getting traded to that player and whatever.
Right.
Like one fighter could have signed the contract. One person might have not got the contract or not signed it yet or still working on details. So the fight's not official. It's like it's a shit show. It's
Moving
not
parts.
fun. It's not fun to do because no one remembers that you broke the news. And if you get it wrong, you are forever known as a fucking idiot. So, and not trustworthy. So take that as you will, you know?
I don't think I can. I have nothing else to say. It's a great way to end it. Excellent. All right, you guys. This has been the first Sound and Pound of July, and quite a damn good one, I would say. A great start to the month. We're off and rolling to the races. Have a nice little holiday weekend of sorts for the 4th of July. Hope everyone enjoys it. But we'll still have content coming out for the most part. The train never stops in the media biz. So for the shameless plugs, Alex, doing anything fancy, any special pieces or interviews coming this week?
Yeah, I'm going to have some stuff from UFCX coming out this week.
Yeah.
I got something from Sean Strickland. I think my interview with Char Bullet is out. Only me and Schmo were the ones to talk to him. So go see what he has to say. And yeah, I just have a bunch of stuff there that's coming out. So check the YouTube channel at points this week.
All right. There you go, you guys. And yeah, if you missed this full episode live, replay it because Adrian Yanez was here. So there's an interview we just did. You can check that out right after this ends. On the website or right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Follow us at Drakers _ at Alex Pehunin, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I've had a project I've been working on for a little bit. Not sure if I'm going to get it out this week or ever. Alex knows what I'm talking about, but I'll briefly tease it for you. But I will be doing a fun little list that I just assembled a template for it this week. So you guys can look forward to a little article that I'm doing for the current boogeymen and women for each division in the UFC. So it'll be a fun little look at.
I like lists.
Yeah, the fighters in the division who you could say arguably champs without crowns, the ones who keep winning but aren't getting their title shots. There's actually a fitting spot for everybody in the division. But think about your Ankalaevs and people like that. Spoiler for light heavyweight. But yeah, that one will be coming out this week. So stay tuned, you guys. But until then, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you to everyone who asked questions for Adrian and just tuned in general. We will see you next week. Enjoy the holidays if you celebrate, if you're American or whatever. And if not, just have a good weekend. We'll
America, bro.